What's going on, everyone? Hope you're doing well. I am in Gainesville, Georgia, getting ready to do another firearms facility tour with Honor Defense. I've been very curious about their handguns that they make. What was really intriguing to me about it is they're 100% American, assembled by veterans. And one of the really things that was really neat about it is you can actually go onto their website, honordefense.com, and actually build your own customized pistol, 9mm handgun. The pistols are completely ambidextrous. When you break it apart, you don't have to worry about a trigger pull to disassemble. And so yeah, about a week ago, I went online and ordered a pistol with my own customizations, my colors, and that sort of thing. So I'll be hopefully meeting with the owners, kind of getting a tour of the facility. Maybe we'll have some time to get to know them a little bit better. So anyway, looking forward to it. So Honor Defense, getting to check out the Honor Guards. Here we go. Hey everyone, welcome to the F5 Refresh. Today I'm here at Honor Defense. I'm with Gary Ramey, the owner and CEO of Honor Defense, and today we're going to start off with just a quick little introduction on the history of Honor Defense. We're going to bring up and kind of fade back and forth between a PowerPoint showing just the history of the company and anything that you want to share with the viewers.
No, thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Look forward to getting some information out to the viewers.
I've been already talking to a couple people about this, and they're I want to see this, and
good.
So you might be hearing from some people.
Yeah.
Already.
Well, you know, and it's interesting to me because the industry is not what a lot of people think it is.
Right.
I know I've been in and around the industry since about 2000, and I was a competitor back in the 70s. That's how old I am. And you know, the industry, a lot of people think it's just a lot of fun going to the range. Right. In fact, I got asked, I was talking to a dealer last night who's got a range, and they said, hey, you know, you haven't been to the range. I thought, you know, I've only been to the range once in the last year.
Mm.
You don't really get a chance to enjoy, you know, when you do this because you love it. It's funny. It almost takes you a step away from it because you're so busy trying to make things run and operate.
Right.
So, gosh, I don't get much trigger time anymore, which is a shame.
Yeah.
I'm not very good, but it's still fun to do. Here's this Ghost, one of our on-site security systems.
This is Ghost, and it's very intimidating having a dog when you're sitting down come right up to your shoulder.
Yeah.
But
he's 170 pounds of just pure love.
Absolute sweet.
He is.
Ghost.
And then his brother will be here shortly. Yeah, www.honordefense.com. Custom design your own gun. You can pick your slide, pick your grip frame configuration, your grip frame color. You can have a manual safety. However you'd like to have it built, you design it. We'll take it from there.
One of the things I was really excited was having the Tritium night sight?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
You did.
Yes. So that was one of the things I've been really wanting. I've been looking for with the one mic.
Really?
Yeah. So because I don't have that yet. So now I can say I do.
And we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm not a Tritium fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's one of the funny things that we've learned, actually. So it really is funny because of our modularity. Mm-hmm. We have over 900 variations of our gun.
That was actually going to be one of the questions. So you can do 900 different versions.
We have over 900, and it kind of changes as different slide color combos come and go. But right now it's a little over like 955. Yeah. And so we'll have people call up and say, I want to get a purple grip with a red, white, and blue slide, and my dealer says it's not available, or I can't find it. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that doesn't sound like a real appealing combo to me.
Right.
I can see why a dealer doesn't have it in stock. So it's just, that's why we said design it online.
That's really cool.
That way you can get what you want.
Then send it right to your local firearms store.
Yeah, we ship it right to them, and the dealer makes their money out of the transfer, which is more than they make if they buy an inventory of Smith & Wesson.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it works great.
Right.
So we're really in two categories. We're in firearms and ammunition. On firearms, all of our firearms are 100% American. One of the greatest con jobs, let's just call it what it is, that American gun companies do is they'll sit there and they'll look at you and say, they'll put the American flag on their box. They'll go, we've God bless America. We're an American company. We've been here for 200 years. They're outsourcing their tooling and a lot of their parts to India and other foreign countries.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they won't be lying. They'll look at you and go, we buy everything in America.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you do. You're buying your parts from the Indian subsidiary in America, who then is outsourcing it back to India.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
You know, if I went to Atlanta and bought a Mitsubishi car, am I buying American? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But that's the game they play. And there's a couple of the big gun companies, you know who you are, and I'm sure your viewers will also know who they are,
Mm-hmm.
that do that. And, you know, this is not a statement about quality. It's good quality. It is. But, you know, it's disingenuous. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. So we don't like that. But all of our parts, all of our tools, everything is American. Everything. Yeah, our gun costs a little more, and our gun weighs a little more than comparable guns. But you know what? We don't have plastic striker housings. We don't have plastic backplates. We've got metal sights. We've got stainless steel in there.
Yeah.
Our gun is built to be durable, generational. You will pass this down to your grandchildren. You will pass it down to theirs. It's intended to last longer than anybody else. That's just the way we do.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, lifetime warranty.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much have a no questions asked warranty. And when I say pretty much no questions asked, the biggest issue in our industry, and Glock's been criticized for this, but it's absolutely true. The biggest challenge in our industry is ammunition.
Yeah.
Because ammunition standards, when you're banging out something that makes 2 or 3 cents, and you're banging out millions upon millions a year, let's be honest, you're not measuring the width of that or the length of that to where it should be within a couple thousandths of an inch.
Right.
And the 9mm bullet has to be is supposed to be 0.355 inches in diameter. Barrels have to taper to 0.346. So there's already a disadvantage. The bullets are going to be, a big peg in a smaller hole.
Mm-hmm.
But you start to add in someone that is packing quick or packing them long, and you get sticky situation. So before someone calls us up, you tell them, buddy, if we have somebody that calls us up and says, hey, your gun's not extractor, it's not feasible.
Mm-hmm.
First question we ask is, we're very sorry. We ask them, what kind of ammo are they using? We've actually had people answer with things like, I bought a barrel of Yugoslavian reloads about 25 years ago, and your gun doesn't shoot those. Really?
With any of them.
Really? So anyway, but we're very proud of our product. If a gun comes back here, which does not happen very often, I would say 95% of the time, reshoot it, it works fine. Mm-hmm. And it just turns out to be Durant.
Okay.
And we'll shoot across several different types of ammo.
Yeah.
And, wow. I mean, we just don't have a problem. But we shoot every gun.
Yeah.
With a plus P proof load and then a couple more rounds.
Okay. And plus P would mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah. 9mm is 35,000 PSI.
Okay. Inside
the chamber. You'll see a lot of manufacturers' warranties will say do not shoot plus P ammo. Well, that's just 10% higher. That's 38,500 PSI. When we shoot a plus P proof, it's 50,000 PSI through every gun.
So that's just for the durability and just the extra power
We want to make sure nothing's going to break inside. And in our testing early on, of course, we did this and had parts magnetic particle tested to see if there's been any stress. And because we use stainless steel and everything you'll notice our barrel is extra thick.
Nice.
There are some that are really thin.
Right.
And then you see articles about them where their gun ruptured,
mm-hmm.
their barrel ruptured. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't had a barrel rupture yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's great. That's cool.
Hopefully we haven't jinxed ourselves, but that's what we've done. So we started shipping in 2016. Mm-hmm. There's 596 gun companies in America that make pistols. So we were number 596, and by the end of 2016, we were number 23.
Wow.
Now, yeah, that's a big jump. And there's a lot of really small, just enthusiasts that make guns, and they're registered with an manufacturer. Yeah. But we jumped over in volume bigger than Nighthawk, Coonan, Wilson Combat, and some others. So we jumped over some pretty storied brands in terms of unit volume.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, I misunderstood that. I thought you were saying 596 total, and all of a sudden there were 25 left. So.
Oh no, we jumped to 525.
Okay, that makes that sound a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, well, we were very proud of it.
Yeah.
The guys in the back, you've got to be a veteran. They have the say so to either ship a gun or not. If they don't like it, it doesn't leave the back. It doesn't. A lot of respect. I mean, they'll stick something under a light and go, I don't like the hue of the ferritic nitride carburization on the slide. Really? Have you wiped it with a silicone, rag or anything?
Right.
Well, and they do just to get me mad.
Yeah.
And they love it. They love to get boxes of ammo, shoot a lot. Because I'll be, I'll hear it and I'll go, what's going on? Oh, we're just testing guns. Yeah. Because I'm thinking 26 pieces.
Right.
I'm thinking of the ammo.
Yeah.
And they're thinking of having a good time. So they're great. I've learned a lot from these guys. And we call Pete the gun whisperer because he'll sit there and just rack it and listen to it. And if something sounds or feels hinky, the gun functions. Yeah. But it gets taken apart and put back together.
Okay.
So that's just the way we do it. We did our designs with consumer input. When we started, we were all from Beretta, Ruger, and Remington backgrounds.
Okay.
And so we looked at, what consumers want in a handgun and baked in all of that to build and design our firearms. But we didn't start designing it. We had our thoughts put together, but we said, we want to talk to people who carry a gun for a living. And I think this is one of the things that makes us really different because a lot of gun companies have these mechanical engineers, design engineers that have been doing design work forever. As an example, if you look at some Taurus products and some Remington pistols, you'll notice a lot of similarities in the way that there's a swoop in some of the lines. Same engineer.
Okay.
Same engineer. And most design engineers don't have a law enforcement background.
Right.
So we wanted to talk to experts that carry a gun for a living. So we talked to the Command Master Chief from DevGroup, Fresno SWAT, the ASAC from the DEA out of Miami, and Juliana Crowder, who started a Girl Gun. And we got everybody together in a room and/or watch SHOT Show, looking at firearms and talking about pistol theory and what makes for a good pistol. And that's why our firearms, our slides are backwards. I'm sorry, our sights are backwards.
Sights backwards.
From everybody else.
Okay.
Because Michael Nussbaum and Nick Fleischman, who carry undercover, back in their day, said, I need to pull that gun fast. So I need it curved in the back. So it's snag-free coming out, and I need a cocking nudge on the front in case one arm is injured, and I need to rack it.
I noticed that, and that was brilliant. Yeah.
Who would have thought of that?
Right.
If you weren't a practitioner.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So, most people have it ramped in the front for snag-free holstering. Yeah. And it was really funny because I was standing in front of everybody and I said, look, we're going to put on Novak sights straight up and down the back, ramped in the front for snag-free holstering, and they all started giggling. What?
Yeah.
Why are you giggling? Yeah. They said, the job is to lift the holstering part. Yeah. Snag-free coming out of the holster. And it was like, why haven't people thought of that?
Right.
Yeah. We took some of our early designs to a big event. James Yeager saw. I don't know if you know James Yeager. He's a big time on-air personality. He saw me and goes, finally, somebody gets it. He goes, somebody gets this. And I told him about our backstory.
Yeah.
And he appreciated that.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. So we use those folks, but we've got more features than anybody else. From starting in the back, the snag-free sights, serrations over the top, so no matter where you grab the gun, if you're in a hurry, you're going to get some texture. Orange front dot sight, not tritium. We think we've got a great front sight. Bevel for holstering on the slide, plus P rated. Wide aluminum trigger. Why is it wide? A lot of people have a real thin trigger. On a small gun, you get a lot of finger in there.
Right.
And it allows you to perhaps pull sideways and not be accurate. Right. You're supposed to have the pad of your index finger. So ours is designed to grab the crook of your finger so you get more pad on it for a straight pullback for more accuracy.
That's great.
So that was the thought process on that. No trigger pull or tools needed for disassembly. This is one of the biggest safety features that's needed in striker fired guns. There's a lot of guns, I won't name them, like Glock and Smith, where you need to pull the trigger or use a tool to disassemble. You don't need to do that on ours.
That was another thing that really intrigued me about the Honor gun.
Yeah, it was funny. Beretta Nano is the same way. And it's one of the ways I first met Michael Nussbaum from the DEA. When I was at Beretta and we launched the Nano, he actually called and said, "Hey, I'm Michael Nussbaum. I just want to tell you that's really a great thing. Good for you guys."
Awesome.
And I said, "I'm probably not appreciating this as much as I should." And he goes, "No, you're probably not." He said, I've been in D.C. at some of the official training centers and seen guys disassemble their gun, forgetting that there's one in the chamber. They'll drop the magazine, forgetting there's one in the chamber, pull the trigger, and the gun goes off. He said, just because you're trained by federal agency doesn't mean, he said, so you cannot be too careful. It's a great system to have.
Excellent.
So that was a mandatory from Michael Nussbaum. So that's put in there. We've got custom texture. We get credit for having the best grip in the industry. It is fabulous. And all controls are ambidextrous.
Yep. I'm a lefty, so that's...
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Now, a lot of people will say, ambidextrous capable. You can switch it from the right to the left. Well, who wants to be a gunsmith switching your gun around?
Right.
Ours comes ready with all controls left and right. And the other reason that's important is what if one arm is taken out of the fight?
Exactly.
I mean, I might have my gun and someone comes to my right or my kids and I'm going to hold them.
Yeah.
Or I'm pushing somebody off or I'm punching and for whatever reason I've got to use my offhand.
Yeah.
I need to be able to rack it. I need to be able to operate. And you can do that with our gun.
That's great.
So we try to take all that into account. And now one of the criticisms we get is that our logo is too big on the side of the gun.
Okay.
We've had a lot of keyboard commandos criticize us for that. Well, here's the reason for that, kids. The reason that our logo is that big is we want a texture there because if you have sweat or blood on your offhand and you go to rack it, you don't want it to be smooth there. And by ATF rules, we've got to have our logo in there, our model.
Right.
So we stretched it across there to provide someone in close quarter combat needing their gun, one arm injured, sweat, blood, what might happen, to be able to rack that gun.
All right.
It's not because we're trying to create a billboard of our brand. Sorry. It's just not. It's there for a very functional reason. So put your comments down below and tell me that you don't believe me and I'm full of it. That's fine. Have at it. Have at it. So we're modular. We talked about 100% made in the U.S. Every gun assembled by a veteran, lifetime warranty. We've got 3 different grip configurations. We'll show you those in the back. We've got a subcompact small grip frame. We've got a fist frame, which stands for Firearm Integrated Standoff.
Okay.
And that was a request from the Command Master Chief from Denver, because he said, if I need my handgun and I'm in battle, I'm in trouble because I'm not using my rifle anymore. There's a problem.
Right.
So it could possibly be up close. He goes, and if someone's on top of my pistol, slide's coming out of battery. So we added about a half an inch onto the grip to keep someone's body off of pushing the slide out of battery.
Okay.
So they can still operate the firearm in self-defense.
Gotcha.
And then we've got ours with the rail underneath for light attachments, things like that. Now, what's really interesting is subcompact grip frames are most popular, so we do that across a lot of different colors. But it also takes the longer slide that's on our bigger gun. So everything's very modular. And it's interesting, we came out with a law enforcement model. We were at a range day with a DEA instructor from the Southeast, and he was shooting our gun. I mean, lights. I've never seen a guy shoot this good.
Yeah.
And I was a competitor, and I worked with the U.S. Olympic shooting team, USA shooting team. I've seen a lot of good pistol shooters. This guy was unbelievable. We had a hostage target set up. He grabbed the gun. This is his first time shooting it. It was at an elevated height from him. He was about 30 yards away, and he was hitting the orange disc, which was around the hostage. Just bing, he would swing around. Bing, bing, bing. I said, would you like to keep using this pistol for a little bit? He goes, oh, yeah, I know. I'd like to take it to Quantico. And he said, I could show it around. He goes, but I got a problem. He goes, I carry appendix style, and I can't have that Picatinny rail. It might impede my drawing. And I said, well, that's easy. We just grabbed a subcompact grip frame, stuck it on there, gave it back, and he goes, you can do that? I said, yeah. He still has the pistol.
Oh, there.
Oh, yeah, he's using it.
Okay.
It's now been about a year and a half. We're not getting it back.
Yeah.
That's one of those permanent T&Es.
Yeah.
And we're happy to do it. We're happy to do it. So we've got 3.2 inch barrel and 3.8 inch. So we've got a subcompact, we've got a compact, and the long slide fits in any grip frame. So does the short, but the short looks really stupid on the bigger one.
Right.
It's just, you could do it. And we actually had a writer request it. And we said, no, that makes no sense. Sorry, we're not doing that. So anyway, from a technical superiority standpoint, here's the gun test results against Glock, G43, the Smith & Wesson Shield, and Walther PPSM2. They did a scientific test. They've even got the temperature and the altitude and all that stuff right there, and across 3 different types of ammo. We beat them all. You'll also notice we're higher velocity, and that's because we follow SAMI standards to a T.
The SAMI standard.
Oh, the Sporting Arms and Ammunition Manufacturers Institute.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an organization set up with design standards for everybody to follow. So 9mm, there's safety standards set up for everything. And so we followed all of their standards for design. And they even have drop test standards and other standards, and we follow all that as well.
Okay.
And we do that kind of testing, not only internally, but we have an external testing lab, one of the ones approved by the state of California, that has done our testing.
Great.
So for marketing, we started off with traditional print. We were in the guns and ammo, working with the NRA, et cetera. And, we had called the new hotness by Guns and Ammo, which we thought was kind of funny. Firearm News called us the newest and the best. Gun World covered us American Rifleman, Shooting Illustrated, Concealed Carry Handguns, Recoil. We have over 30 reviews online. Best Single Stack by Guns America, best the concealed carry industry has to offer by Guns.com. The truth about guns is really funny. The ungodly love child of the SIG P320 and a shield. Gun test confirmed more accurate than G43. Tactical Lights said we're one of the best pistols for law enforcement. Such says better than the shield. Hickok 45 is kind of Mac Daddy reviewers.
Yeah, I watch them all the time.
And I've never met him. I sent him an email. He doesn't buy his guns. I'm sorry, he doesn't accept free guns. You got to buy a gun, which I have a lot of respect for. So when he does his reviews, you have no idea what's going to happen. And we were after him. Hey, could you please do a review on our gun? Of course, we don't know if it's going to be good or bad. So we sent him some notes, just trying to push it along. And he got back a note. He sent us a note and said, I've been getting a lot of requests from our viewers to do a review, so I'm going to do one someday. Well, one day, I'll never forget it. I can almost tell you what I was wearing. I get an email, and it was from his son that said, we did a review of your gun, and it's something along the lines of it kept choking, it didn't run well. And I'm like, oh my God, we're done, it's over. And I thought, his name's not there. I scroll down, and it said, just kidding, gun ran great. Here's a link to the review. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. And in his review, he even says, I didn't want to do a review of this gun. I didn't make of it. He goes, well, I like this gun. And he even said, one of our favorite quotes is, the grip is worth $1 million. So that was very, very nice. So, and then, of course, Firearm News and Guns and Ammo, the newest and the best. So we've been very, very pleased and blessed. All the reviews that we're able to put together. I'm also the webmaster. So as I can get them up online, I put them up. Some are not as flattering as we'd like them to be. But that's what makes this gun industry great. Everybody has a different perspective. Some people like tritium sights. Some people don't. And one of the things we've learned is it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. Some people are just going to hate. Like they say, haters going to hate. Some people just don't like things.
Yeah.
You know, and so if they get to be too painful, we just say, well, what kind have you designed and developed and brought to market?
Yeah.
Well done. Well, okay.
Yeah.
There's a million out there for you to choose from.
Yeah.
Find the one you like. But some people like to spend time criticizing the ones they don't, and they need a hug. Those folks need a hug. Give them a hug. So, interesting story about ammunition. That's the firearms, and we'll dive into that more. And the ammunition. Marcus Luttrell, the Navy SEAL with Lone Survivor book and movie. I had worked a little bit with him when I was at Beretta. Very nice man. Very nice man. He and his wife. I had a chance to go meet with him at their home down in Texas. Yeah, just tell you folks. Marcus was working with Center Fire and Snake River Products on a new line of ammunition.
Yeah.
It's frangible, but it's a hollow point. And so frangible is a compressed copper, 90% copper, 10% tin as a binder or so. So when it hits steel, you can literally walk up to a steel plate, shoot it, and it just to nothing. And so they were marketing that, but on the front end, the Snake River guys moved on to do some other stuff. So Center Fire came to us and said, we'd like to put this product under your branding. You know how to work with distributors. You guys know how to work with dealers. So we've done that. And so we've got this line of hollow point frangible ammo. It passes all the FBI protocols for penetration except for windshields. But frankly, I can't imagine what I'm going to be shooting into a windshield.
I never have.
I can't imagine what I would.
Yeah.
If they want my car that bad, they can have it.
Yeah.
And I know there's someone thinking, yeah, but what if they're kidnapping my kids? Well, I'm not going to shoot into a car because I don't know where the bullet's going to go, and I don't want to shoot my kids.
I don't want to hit my kids.
I'll shoot a tire.
Yeah.
You want to stop the car.
Yeah.
I don't want a bullet flying around inside the thing. So it does not pass windshield tests, but it passes wallboard, aerogel, heavy clothing, light clothing, plywood, you name it. Gets great penetration. It's been approved by the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement for school marshals because the benefit is reduced ricochet.
Okay.
And most people forget they're responsible for every shot.
Yeah.
And I know I can hear you guys out there now. Yeah, when I'm at the range, I do this good. Yeah, we're at the range. We don't have someone shooting at us.
Yeah.
When someone's shooting at you, I think the study in New York is only 20% of the shots hit the intended target. 80% of the shots miss. And if you live in an apartment building or a house, it's going through the walls.
Yeah.
And it's going to injure somebody on the other side. It's going to careen down the terrazzo floor or the concrete floor and ricochet and hit somebody.
Yeah.
And obviously we don't want that.
Right.
So this ammo was really designed for maximum effectiveness. And I mean, it's devastating.
Okay.
And we'll get some pictures later of some ballistic gel.
All right.
I'll give you some videos. It is devastating.
All right.
But it's not going to ricochet. It's going to have a reduced hazard for ricochets. So again, Texas Commission on Law Enforcement approved for the school marshals. We just met with a lot of Florida county sheriffs for the Florida Guardian program because they're training school teachers to carry.
Okay.
And there's already at least one county within the week who's issuing it to their guardians.
Excellent.
Yeah, so they get it.
Yeah.
They get it. They were really impressed with the features and benefits of it. So we've got that. It's 100% USA. It's made in Pennsylvania, and it works great. It's also got some other benefits most people don't think about. It's lead-free.
Yep.
There's a lot of ammo, too, that people are buying online that is reloads. If you look in your owner's manual for your firearm, you're going to see reloaded ammo voids your firearm warranty.
Okay.
People don't realize that. We've had people that call up. We still honor it. We have people call and go, hey, I used my buddy's reloads. It's not working well. And I go, don't use that.
Right.
And by the way, reloads void your warranty. And people don't realize that. And that's true for Glock, Smith & Wesson, you name them. Reloaded ammo is a big number. And the reason is we don't know if they're adhering to SAMI standards to which our firearms are designed. So that's why it voids warranty. So for those of you out there doing it, I know it seems like a good idea. Don't buy reloaded ammo. If you want to do your own, do it. Don't buy reloaded ammo. It's an accident waiting to happen. So we've got it in all popular calibers, 389, 40, 45, and 357. And we'll get into more of that later. Reasonably priced, by the way. Don't show them this chart. This is what we sell at the distributors for.
Okay.
But, a distributor or a dealer will buy it for, $9 to $10 a box. By the time it gets to you, it's $13.99 to $14.99 a box. But you compare that to rip ammo, which is $35 a box, or Hornady, which is $21.99, $20 a box, $19 a box. Ours is, 40% less.
Yeah.
It's just a lot cheaper and frankly every bit as effective, and it's lead free, and it's very effective.
And less ricochet.
Ricochet. So I know what you're saying. Yeah, but police carry spear gold dot. Yes, they do, and that's because they like to shoot into cars. Sometimes they got to do that. And we've talked to some police chiefs. I'm like, I can't trust my officers to change ammo depending on where they're going.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
They're also trained a lot more than those of us who own a gun, live in an apartment building, or carry one from the school. New York Port Authority's now looking at it because shootings in the subways. I mean, what a crowded environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's fabulous ammo. Fabulous. So that's really it as a short overview of our company on firearms and ammo and why we do what we do.
All right. Well, thank you.
You bet.
Great. All right, so we just finished assembling the honor guard. Let's see how it shoots. It works. Success. That's fun.
Success. Good.
Feels really, really good.
Yeah, how'd you like the grip of it? How'd you like the shape of the grip?
It feels really good. And one of the things I did with the custom was I got the 1911 backstrap.
Yeah.
So I was able to get that replaced already, thanks to Pete. But yeah, it feels really good.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of good texture, a lot of good grip. Yeah, quite nice.
We ran the texture up here, so when you have your finger straight, you can feel you'll have that texture experience. Plus, if you're ever shooting one-handed, we have the texture here. So if for whatever reason the other arm's engaged, your thumb's not going to slip.
Yeah.
You can get a good hold on the gun.
Got a very good.
And that was the request of the law enforcement in the hotter climates, because they said we don't have to custom. They use soldering irons.
Okay.
Custom stipple the grip because of the way we did ours.
All right.
So that was at their direction.
Cool. All right. Very good. Great. Gary and Pete, thank you so much. Well, you're not in there.
I'll get in the middle.
Yeah. All right. All right. So, somebody else that just showed up and who guided me through assembling my honor guard is Pete. Pete Ramey. And so obviously father son. And so they requested I do not record the assembly of the honor guard.
For insurance purposes, we do the assembly ourselves rather than have others do it now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take long to assemble, as you probably realize.
No, it doesn't.
So you're frankly an official armorer.
Yes.
At this point. And Pete, I think your record for assembly is about 1:27 on the chassis. Most handguns are so awkwardly designed, it takes a long time. I think most armor's classes are a full day to 2 days. We can generally teach somebody to be an armorer within 30 minutes.
There you go. So one last question before we end. I found on your website a little bit of a story or behind the scenes of the logo that you decided. How did you come to the idea for the name of Honor Defense and then the logo?
Yeah, we had a couple of working names in advance. At one point, it was going to be Squid Arms, And we found out the guys in the Army really hate the Navy. And we had people from the Army go, I'd never buy a gun named Squid. So we canceled that. So we kept looking for names and what's the right thing to do. And because you've got to make it trademarked and something you can own and have it be meaningful. And so it was very hard. It was really hard to find something and a logo. And, our principles for our company are, again, 100% American. Veterans assemble. A big customer base for us is veterans. And one day, I was in my closet getting ready to go to work, and I looked to my right, and there was my father's World War II Army jacket hanging there with a patch very similar to this.
Okay.
He flew the hump in World War II, and that's called the Forgotten Theater, the Aluminum Trail. And it was a joint base overseas in India. Near Karachi is where he was. And it was a joint base with British.
We got a new photo bomber here.
Yeah,
this
we
is
got a new photo bomber. This is Hidalgo.
And, so you met Ghost first, and now we got Hidalgo here.
And so as the story goes, this patch was developed for fights on base all the time. And so the Americans had this patch developed. It had, obviously it didn't say Honor Defense.
Yeah.
But it was developed so when the MPs were breaking up fights, they knew who was American and who wasn't. Mm-hmm. So the American MPs might go a little easier on the American soldiers. So, we were trying to figure out what to do for a logo, and this one kind of fit in with our principles. So we said, let's go ahead and adopt that.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for this opportunity. This was absolutely amazing. And I'm very excited to, once it arrives up in North Carolina, get my hands on it and take it home.
In case you're wondering why he's not taking it with him, you have to buy the firearm, have it transferred in the state where you reside. So he's shot his firearm, and we've disassembled it, we've reassembled it, he's played with it. After he leaves, we'll ship it up to his FFL in the Carolinas, and that's where he'll pick it up and have his NICS check done.
And would you want to just do a quick video, or just quickly show how easy it is to disassemble and reassemble an honor guard?
Yeah. We can field strip one for you.
Sweet. All right.
We'll do one right now. Hold on a second.
Perfect.
So, folks, one of the key things that we've talked about earlier is no trigger pull or tool needed for disassembly. So, when you are disassembling your firearm, obviously you drop the magazine, rack it back. We've got slide catches here and here, ambidextrous. You rotate this lever down, and the slide comes off. Pull that out, and there's your chassis, which is the serialized piece. We clean ours with carburetor cleaner. We don't purchase real expensive, extravagant cleaners. Frankly, carb cleaner, the force of the blast blows off any dirt, and the nature of the fluid cleans the gun. We just do that, put it right back together like this. And you've disassembled your firearm and reassembled it for cleaning.
Simple, straightforward.
Very simple, yeah. And most importantly, safe.
Yes.
No trigger pull, no tools needed. Very, very important. Because a lot of people will drop a magazine, think they've unloaded a firearm, and they haven't. And that's where accidental discharges come in. And I got to tell you a funny story. I was down at a dealer in Florida, and I was talking to a guy behind the counter, and he says, well, anyone that pulls the trigger and has accidental discharge shouldn't own a gun. I said, well, that's why it's called an accidental discharge. And you don't have to do that with ours.
Yeah.
It's a very important safety feature, and we're glad we have it. We won't have a gun without that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So I guess we'll do one final conclusion. So y'all have your own YouTube channel?
We do. We don't do much with it.
Uh-huh.
Frankly, I don't think we have just a handful of videos up there.
Okay. Well, I'll be sure to put it in the end credits.
Okay.
Definitely check out the YouTube channel. Of course, I'd love your support by likes and subscriptions, of course. But yeah, definitely check out their site. Once again, www.honordefense.com.
And yours is?
Mine is the F5 Refresh. That's a YouTube channel, and
okay.
I don't have a website or anything like that.
Yet.
I have something on Facebook, but just a little group.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just barely getting started.
Good.
That's me.
Oh, well, started at the beginning.
Yep, absolutely.
Good for you.
So, but yeah, so here we go. But that's all for now. Goodbye. God bless. I'll see y'all soon.